Jeff tried it. He told my name Rell.
Hey y'all, we live tonight. We got a full house tonight. Tonight's show is I am my brother's keeper, and the second part of the show is sassy men. What is the definition of sassy men? And what's the characteristics of a sassy man? We got Keisha, Rell, and Shaketa here tonight. Keisha, explain to the people who you are, sister.
My name is Keisha. I'm an entrepreneur and a consultant. Um, my goal for 2020 is to buy more properties. From my consultant side, I make small businesses operational, compliant, and profitable.
Okay. Rell.
My name is Rell, Jeff Relly. I don't know, I do a lot of things. I trade, I invest, our e-commerce site, lusciousbell.com, a lot of sites. I do pretty much anything. I'm not gonna just box myself in. Um, that's me.
Shaketa.
So I am. My name is Shakita. I have a 9 to 5, and I also um, have. I'm about 5 years, 5 6 years into my baking business. It's called Sweet as Charlie, like Charlie in a chocolate factory. Charlie. Um, I do cakes and cupcakes and cute little things like that. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook to get pictures and to see the things that I do, the parties that I do, stuff like that. My best-selling cupcake has been the pumpkin cupcake. I wanted it to be seasonal, but it is literally like the favorite. I've been selling them all year long. So
Okay. So, Keisha, we talked about the topic of the show, and we wanted to discuss the Loni Love situation. I'm gonna read just some of what she said. She basically said, "Hold up, I don't speak for the black community." So she threw a disclaimer out there first. She said, "I don't speak for the black community, but I do think that a lot of black men, they really don't know how to have true, faithful relationships. They think that they have money, they have power, they can treat women any kind of way. I think sadly in so many cultures that is the whole machoism thing that goes across the board." This is what one of her co-hosts said. She said, "No, it's not across the board because it is what is happening is that we are still dealing with the point of slavery, and we are descendants of slaves, and because our families were broken up, we still do not have an idea of have how to have togetherness because our families have been broken up." Keisha, say what you wanted to say about that, because I know you had some thoughts, comments, emotions. We can't hear you, Keisha.
Mhm. No.
Nope.
You want me to rock out first? Let's
Keisha, your
see.
thing on the mute. I can see it from here.
Right. She
She,
gonna
dr-
log back in.
yeah, Rel, what was your statements with that?
My statement is that that don't have nothing to do with slavery, man. Like that just have to do with men and women's relationships, and how things interconnect and usually interact, and that's usually because of finance. As far as what she's saying, and if she's talking about it in terms of dealing with like money and how men get in advantageous situation where they paying for things and just do what they want. I mean, like, let's be real. Like, I'm not gonna act like all men are innocent, but men like to do what they do, and also like that's just like any business. If you running things and if if it's your money funneling through, you want to do what you want to do, and if naturally men like to, I don't want to say cheat. If men like to be with other women and then they're paying the bills, they feel as though they can do whatever they want to do. You got to have like a real solid male to feel like, okay, I'm just messing with you and I'm gonna be loyal. But every man slip and shit, women slip. But that has nothing to do with no fucking slavery because the white people got the same issue. Marriages have decreased 60% in the white community too, and probably 80% since the fucking 60s for black people. So it's a problem across the board. And her singling that shit out to a black community just make us look crazy.
Well, she did say she don't speak for black men with a black community.
Can you guys
But
hear me now?
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we
can
hear
hear
you.
you, Keisha.
Yeah,
So what I was gonna say is it's just highly annoying when black people get into spaces and we tear each other down, especially when you have a white partner. So now you have a white partner, and maybe it's the black men that she know because we grew up in the suburbs. The white girls that I grew up with that are single or have marriages or relationships that's not working, they have the same issues. So it just irritated me that she singled out um black men. And if you want to talk about slavery, the slave masters was raping, they was cheating too. The slave masters and the women. So then that means that white people relationships is just as damaged as ours.
Shakita, you want to talk about this? You want to elaborate on
I
your
do.
thoughts?
I do. Um, I kind of feel exactly the same way Keisha feels. I just thought it was just ignorant for her to say. And she actually, her co-host next to her, I felt like was trying to save her. She said to her, "Oh, it's not all men," or she said, "Our men." She was trying to say our men do the same thing, and she cut her off to say, "No, because of slavery, this is what happened to us."
yeah,
Like I say sometimes to certain men, nobody is obligated to date you. Nobody's obligated to date you or to be faithful to you. Nobody owes you anything. But it's up to you or how you decide if you want to take those feelings. You don't have to internalize why somebody cheats on you or why somebody treats you that way. And I'm not saying that I've never done it, but I'm just saying, as old as she is, because she's absolutely older than me, she should know better. You understand what I'm saying? Like, men cheat, women cheat, and there's certain aspects of cheating I can really understand. I just, some things I can understand. Some things don't go your way, or there's something you need or you wanted it, you cheated. I can understand certain things, but nobody should have to internalize why you made that decision. So for her to be as old as she is in a relationship, she got her whole man. She finally got her a man. He might not be black, but she got one. To still be harboring such hostile animosity, especially towards black men. You got a black father, I'm sure you got black uncles, cousins, friends, everybody. Don't pin your insecurities and what you have not been able to successfully get on somebody else. And slavery was just a low blow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
she could have incorporated, like, and that's another. Slavery was just a low blow. Like, there's
Yeah,
all kinds of things that have come up that has been happening within the last 100 years that make it hard for us to actually have sometimes healthy relationships. But slavery might be to some degree some things, but I mean, we had mass incarceration, we had the crack era, we had all kinds of reasons why she could have tried.
welfare.
But ooh, I said the her
If she would have
well,
said welfare,
anything
which broke up
in.
the homes, I could have went with her somewhat. But
Right, this is what I'm saying. She could have made really good points. And furthermore, during slavery, husband and wife, there were husbands and wives. And no matter what was happening to their husband, no matter what was happening to their wife, they still had a committed relationship amongst each other. And they would go almost to hell and be murdered and killed to protect one another as well. She got a lot of shit with her, and I was really pissed off about that.
Well,
You
the
can't
the
get the black man
backdrop,
you
the
want.
back,
You can't
the
get the black man
backdrop,
you want. And you got the nerve to say that all black men cheat because you couldn't get the one you wanted?
the backdrop to their story, which I forgot to say, was they were basically talking about Kevin Hart cheating on his wife. And what got me the most was she saying that we men have power. Ain't no black man in this country got no damn power.
Power over who? I mean, they have
But
power
what?
over their own lives. They can make their own choices and decisions. But what kind of power? Poor men cheat, rich men cheat. All
All men
kinds of
cheat.
men cheat. Yeah, cheat and cheat. Like you really think I don't think Kevin Hart cheated because he had money. I don't think
Mhm.
so. I think he cheated because there was something he was lacking, and it was internally. It had nothing to do with his wife. Again, how do you
The first
and
wife or the second wife.
exactly. I mean, I'm older now, so when I used to internalize somebody mistreating me, it was a little bit different, and I think that's why I can kind of turn off and cut people off when I need to, because how you treat me is not a reflection of me, and nor am I sticking around to deal with that. But for her to be as old as she is and have a man now, the anger and passion in her eyes made me mad because she was a little
Allegedly happy. She's allegedly happy.
couldn't be, couldn't
Happy
be.
people don't act like that.
I don't think so.
Do y'all think do you think she was wrong for throwing the black experience
Yes.
in the conversation because she didn't really
She
know what to say? Or
was,
she just
she was definitely wrong for that, but she was definitely wrong with the black experience. You know what I mean? Like we all, I think some women probably agreed with her up until she went left with the slavery. Like, where the fuck that come from? You know what I mean? And I just feel like, honestly, like she's just one of those women who, like, she probably, like y'all said, she just got something maybe with black men or whatever, and it's real easy to throw them under the bus on TV. And like I said, I said to Keisha before we hit live, I just don't feel like a black man would have threw a black woman under the bus, and that's one thing that I'm real hard about, like, because like just looking at it this year, I don't want to blame slavery on women doing it or whatever, whatever. I know most of the time, like Shakita said, it's people internalizing their problems and just like, oh, you know what, all men are fucked up, all niggas ain't shit or whatever. But like, it's too easy. It's become too easy for just women, especially black women, to throw us under the bus publicly. And what I've realized is like there is
Word.
like, hear me out. Like there is some type of like like it's some type of hatred. Like I don't want to say it's not that type of hate, but it's like some type of contempt. Put it like that. It's like some type of contempt that a lot of women don't realize that they're expressing publicly about men in general, and then it's real hateful when you hear it publicly and it's not you. But sometimes if you see yourself or you hear yourself saying it, you be like, damn, this shit don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense to me, because I go in. But like I said, I'm just realizing that there's contempt in the air, between men and women in the community, especially online.
Keisha. Keisha, could you
I
hear
mean,
us?
yeah, I hear you. That's just a lot to unpack. Like, really?
Unpack it
Like,
one
really?
one box at a time.
You got to, like, first of
You're
all,
fresh.
black men, and I
One
don't
box at
like
a
to,
time.
He's fresh.
Yeah.
right? Hello, yeah. Black men that date outside of their race, it's
Uh,
many of examples of them getting out and saying how terrible the black woman is, or I'm never going to date a black woman. So to even say that you don't think that black men would do that, I don't even know how you could come up with that.
okay, let me answer that, right? So how often do we see that? We don't see that
All the
often.
time.
All the
We
time, all the athletes have white women. Like, what do you, what?
all the athletes don't have black. I mean, don't
Most
have white.
of them,
Like that's a blatant statement. If I Google that right now, we'll see it. And
most
then
of them,
if I
most of
also
them.
Google black men and white women in marriages, like that's the smallest. Like that's probably the smallest percent in America. Black men mostly marry a lot of black women. Like
So
honestly,
Jeff,
go ahead. What you say?
so do you prefer to be called Jeff? Is Jeff fine?
I mean, you call me whatever
That's
relates
fine.
to you. You know, I'm Jeff to you. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
so Jeff.
Yeah.
So in defense of Keisha,
Right.
black men not only date and marry white women, but they do all other races. And
Right.
the amount of men who are in interracial relationships who outwardly speak out against black women and say things about them, there's a lot of them, and they do it publicly. And
I
most of
don't.
the time, when that happens, and I'm talking
Mhm.
about those men, right? So whoever, whatever percentage of those men it is, there's no one that comes in and defends us. It's always the laughing and the haha and the kiki that, yeah, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, 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 I get what you're saying. Then you have
Mhm.
the men who are mad that they can't get the black woman that they want, and they feel like, well, I'm a nice guy, so how come you don't want to date me? You just want to date that kind of man. You're messed up in the head. Then you got those
Okay.
men that talk, wait. Then you got those men that talk about us, right?
All right.
You got the other men who tell us that when we want to be single parents, what women are single parents by choice, and they
Mm,
make all of their baby fathers miserable.
are you saying that's what they saying?
I'm telling you, that's what they're saying. We then we have
That's what men say about women. You
about us.
saying?
Black women,
So
Okay.
black
so
women.
there are so many incidents where
Mhm.
our men do talk about, and I'm not saying I'm making it a big issue. I'm only responding. I'm only defending her because you
Mhm.
said we black women. I'm not going to say we me, but black women
Mhm.
outwardly speak down about black men, and it seems so much hatred and so much anger. I think
Right.
it's a. I hear
Publicly.
what you're
Right. Yeah.
saying. Publicly. I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I feel like so do the so do men, and I feel like the difference in that is that
Mhm.
we will defend you guys. Y'all, I feel like don't defend.
Let's put it like this.
Exactly.
As let's put it like this. As far as defense, there's no defense. Like there's no superhero. There's no Clark Kent that's gonna come and save you. Like the protection in the community. That's not even a conversation because like there's nobody here to save nobody. So that's like when Lonnie Love says something. Don't nobody jump that bitch. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing that. So
But
like we're
me and Keisha are defending men against her, so that's the superhero.
well,
It might not be on a level where somebody's knocking her head off or taking her
right.
job away from her, but we're here to defend. We're still defending black men.
I mean that's like
And
go ahead.
to add aside,
Mhm.
people, all the pressure of the world sometimes is seeming lately is on the back of a black woman. Because it's like, oh, the black women didn't go out to vote. That's why we lost the election. Oh, the women ain't raising their kids. That's why they punks. Everything, every ill in the world is the black woman. And black men don't get up there and be like, I'm seeing a little bit, but not really, not to the defense that black women defend black men. Because as Quentin could tell you, I
Mhm.
was highly irate with Lonnie Love and Amanda Seals.
You sure were.
All right, that's all right. So let me unpack these boxes right here, right? All right, so let me go backwards, right?
Also, earlier, that Facebook comment, that's probably the third article I've seen this week. Today's only Wednesday, about how toxic mothers are. That's literally the third
Yeah, but
article
that's
I've seen.
that.
They
But
were
also,
separate articles.
okay, but okay, let me unpack these boxes that y'all put
Nobody
around.
defending the women. The
Oh,
women were on there
but
like,
that's okay.
you were on there like,
Okay.
mm.
It's okay. It's okay for certain things to be said. Like one thing in the community, like see, black men, we don't care. You don't hear Q saying, "Ain't nobody saying nothing." Like man,
But you
yeah,
said that's why we're having this conversation because you said
no, we're saying that people are outwardly saying things, but we're not asking for you guys to protect us. We're not saying, oh, somebody should say something. We're just saying
We
collectively.
automatically do it.
But what I'm saying, like that part doesn't matter.
I will say
Hmm.
that black men were highly offended when Patrick Patterson, instead of praising his wife, which he should have been praising because that's his wife, he felt a need to say that black women look like bulldogs.
Yeah. See, now that's a wild comment,
And
but
he did get
nobody.
roasted. He did get roasted on Twitter and social media
Right.
for
We
making
all
that
we
statement
all
by other men.
we all gonna come. We all gonna come together when it's collectively stupid. Like this Lonnie Love, this shit was stupid. Period. And
you
ain't
said
no
only
defending
when
this
it's
shit.
stupid.
But certain things are not stupid. Like, okay, let's unpack the one thing that you said. When motherfuckers say, okay, well, black women don't want to deal with us. They just want to deal with XYZ. You know, it's always the street niggas, and then it's you got the dudes, the working dudes that feel like black women just want to go towards that. If a person says that and he's a black man, that's something that we all know is crazy in the community. You can't feel like a person has to say something to that man because he says something about a black woman that we all know deep down is correct. Now
See,
we not
yeah,
none of us
I
are
agree.
beyond
I
none of
agree.
us are none of us are beyond certain things being said to us.
Criticism.
It's
I
just that
totally agree.
I agree with that totally, but that
Yeah.
to me is just like a Lonnie Love thing. Like that's his
that's not a Lonnie
insecurity.
Love because this is
It's good.
true. There's no fact. It's
Girls that ain't never dated a girl in their life. Now
but
I'm
you're
not
talking
one of them,
you're
but
but you're
I
talking
know
about a
girls that
small
never
you're talking
dated
about a
a
small
dude.
amount.
I'm
If it
not
was a
talking.
large amount, we would
You
not
don't
have
know
the we
what
would not
amount of
I
money
we
need, I
would not
need, I
have the
need,
hood.
I
man.
need both of y'all to hear each other out because what happens, the audio will muffle. So
What I
wait a second, Keisha. I know that I said that maybe Lonnie Love was wrong for putting a black experience into what she was trying to say. And Keisha, I know that me and you had talked about this before, that how a lot of times people in interracial relationships, they try to overcompensate while they with their mate. Like
Mhm.
you think because of her being married outside her race, she was trying to overcompensate, or she was being bitter.
Um,
Conversation.
her shit was so left field. It don't have nothing to do with no, like it's yo. She didn't even say that shit was left field. Like that's why we all here and we're saying that shit was stupid. Now, if it was something
It
that
was
was
a conversation.
like hold up, like she could be on to something, then Shakita and them might be like, yeah, she right and this, and then we'd be like, nah, she wrong, and then with a heart. But we're here saying this shit collectively because that shit was stupid. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
like if they were having a conversation about Kevin Hart cheating on his wife, right? Now,
Right.
most of us have seen Kevin Hart's Netflix special, and if you bring that up as if that's the reason why you're on that topic of cheating, you see the way he was raised, you see the way he was brought up, you see what his mother had to go through, what his father had to go through, what he had to go
Right.
through. There were plenty of examples for why that man cheated, and she could have brought those up and had a real conversation. You know what I mean? Like it could have just been his broken home. Sometimes a broken home can cause cheating, or low self esteem can cause cheating, or the loss of his mother looking for affection and out here in these streets because his wife was pregnant. She could have said anything.
Hmm.
It was almost as if she wanted to trump her guest next to her when her guest wanted to say, all men cheat. You know what I mean? She wanted to use that whole, no, like she wanted to shut her down to say, no, we're only talking about black men. Don't you? There's plenty of times when we need you to only say, talk about black men. That just wasn't one of those times, and it was just poor judgment. It was poor judgment, and she was very, very emotional, and she had flashbacks, and she lost her damn mind.
Very,
I
very much
think
so.
she could have said industry men.
Hmm.
I think that's what she was trying to go with, like people in the industry and people with money. But to what Quentin was saying, I do kind of think it's a combo. I think that sometimes as black people we judge. Who you love is who you love. So
Right.
I've heard
I
it.
believe that.
But how could you be pro black and you with a white person? Like
That that have that has nothing to do. You can
I
be pro
agree with
black
you.
or be with a Chinese person.
I
It
agree with
does.
you. But I've heard those type of judgments. So sometimes I feel like when people are in a interracial relationship, they try to justify it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So,
Because a lot of
so
people
Keisha, you
ask them.
you think they try to? I hate to say it like this. You think they try to justify it to the black community?
Yes. Hmm.
I think they because the black community always like honestly a lot of women be like, yo, why would you pick that white? Just like I said, the NBA dudes, they be like, yo, why would you pick the white? You know what I'm saying? Why would you pick the white chick? You could have went with a black chick, blah blah blah. And they don't think about like it's a lot of economics in this. You're not dealing on the same class level. You're not hanging out with You know what I'm saying? Shaniqua at the motherfucking whatever bar. Like that's just not the
Black.
circle anymore.
There are black women that are in those circles.
You know, black women are the most
It's
educated and starting the most businesses. So I'm pretty sure we're
but
in
we're not talking about. We're talking about
Her,
high class Beverly Hills. You're not catching 1,000 black chicks with it. So
first of all, he
it
ain't
does
catching them
happen,
either. When you
huh?
think of the ratio of white people or other cultures that are married, that are gay, that are not
Mhm.
interested, and all of those other things, he doesn't have thousands of choices of white women to pick from. He doesn't. He picked the
But
one he
we're
wanted. He's
we're talking about where he lives, who he works
I don't know
around.
where he lives. I don't know what he see. But if he really
He
wanted
don't
to
he
be a
but he
black,
don't live in a poor neighborhood. You see what I'm saying?
so
what? What?
by your
Yeah,
standards,
we live in messed
no,
up neighborhoods.
sir, no. By your standards,
DC is filled. There are plenty of places that are filled with educated black women that make good money. If
right?
We
if
know
you
that.
if you move to an area and you were an affluent black man and you moved to
Right.
an area and you wanted to date an affluent black woman, you would
Mhm.
go where they were. If you lived in an all white neighborhood or went to an all white school and you wanted to see people that look like you would go to where they were. Stop shaking your head. No. I've been to plenty of places. I've been to plenty of places. First of all, I have several girlfriends that
Okay.
make well over $100,000 a year. I have girlfriends that own buildings, property, all kinds of stuff. And
Mhm.
they have a hard time sometimes meeting somebody on their quote unquote level. What do? They move
Right.
themselves out of that environment and they go to an environment where they're going to find those men, black men, because that's what they want, that are on the same level as them. So
It's
there's no
different.
it's no it's not
It's different pickings for black women and it's different pickings for black men.
one minute it's so many black women and not enough black men. Now all of a sudden he don't have no choices but the white.
Let me tell you this: the circles that he hangs around,
You
just
don't
like here, if you go to Princeton, if you go to Princeton
I
as
do.
a black
Well,
man,
I
you
think
were more likely in a bar to go find about 11 white women for every black chick that comes in there. So it's just
no.
Sir,
happening.
The statistics are
sir.
right. The
This
statistics
Go ahead,
let
Keisha.
me
What you
let me
saying?
just say something to you.
Uh huh.
Union, where I grew up,
let them know.
being the first
Union.
black niggas in my neighborhood.
Okay.
If you want a black man, you're gonna seek out and find a black man. Now, I'm not gonna say I haven't dated other races because I have, but as a grown ass woman, I don't want no white man. I want a black man. So I'm gonna go where they are,
Yeah, he
and
went
that's what
to
you're looking for. So
They're
what
not
you're
coming. They're not going to look. It's not. We're not going to look for nobody. It's whoever's convenient for us. A lot of time, as men that women want, like yo, it's whoever coming to do that job and
well,
whoever
first of
looks
all, no.
good.
Can
And
I stop
I'm trying
you?
to tell you,
Can I stop you? I'm just gonna
go
say
ahead.
something. White
Yeah.
women was raised to go to college and to get a man.
Okay.
So there, we are a little bit different when it comes to that. So, but I'm not gonna say that they're not in their spaces. You right now,
Right.
social media is popping. It's
Right.
black people, women, men, YouTubers. They making money. Reality TV stars. They're in those spaces. So if you
Mhm.
wanted to date a black woman,
you could.
they're
You don't want
available.
to. Yeah.
But
You
that's
don't want
not
to, and
you
that's
got you
fine.
got to understand. Like it's more to it.
Don't
It's
tell
like
me
You're
to
making
understand nothing
excuses.
what you don't do.
it's a class issue. Like
It's not a class issue.
you're not going to it's less likely when you got a bag as a billionaire or 100 millionaire. It's less likely that you're gonna meet a Shantae that knows how to deal with you in that money, and
So,
or
so
your
now we don't know how to act.
knows how to deal with you.
Oh, you friend. You
And
friend.
the Karen is more likely to take you a little bit like okay, well, nigga, this ain't that much. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to the freak out of maybe a Shantae who's never seen that. Or she might feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna deal with this nigga in the same way I dealt with Sean around the corner. Like he ain't for that. He's not for that. You
Okay.
Rel,
don't want to listen
Rel,
to that.
Agree,
Rel,
disagree. You
You
sound
know
got
crazy.
what I'm
you
saying?
got you got Shakita making faces down there,
I ain't
Rel.
Yeah,
making no
because
sense.
they don't believe, like,
Cause you
they
all
don't
around
think
the
about that.
mulberry bush.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but how would you know?
What you mean? You could tell that like, okay, that's like the difference now, right? If I pick somebody like, okay, I live in Edison, for instance. There's a difference between a black girl or any type of girl and her behaviors, how she treats me, or her responses, than if I come to Essex County and go to East Orange and meet the average black chick. But that don't mean I
Oh
don't
wow,
want no
that is
black
so
chick.
ignorant.
That just mean it's different ways that these
Listen.
women act when they from different areas and they're
That
of
is
a different
very
class.
ignorant.
Woo!
That
Ed-
is very ignorant.
Fireworks,
That's not
fireworks,
ignorant. It's the
fireworks.
truth.
Edison.
It's the, that's
That is
yo you that's like I'm gonna give you another one.
No, don't give me
How,
no more, honey. I don't want no more.
because y'all don't
I'm
understand.
glad
It's a
Edison.
my
difference
food.
between North,
Up
and
the road.
it's a difference between a
Edison,
North black girl and it's a
Edison,
difference
10,
between a
15
Southern
minutes with
black
me,
girl.
Edison.
Huh?
Edison, 10, 15 minutes with me, Edison.
No,
Child.
it's a difference between a union girl and it's a difference between another black girl.
No, it's not.
Oh, Q, what you got to say on this?
No, it's not.
I,
When I think of all of my black
Let's
girls
keep it funky.
I went to
Keep it
high
funky,
school with
Q.
that are
Keep
all
it funky,
from
Q.
Union,
I'll say
not
that.
tall, they ain't no different.
I'll
It's
say
a
that.
big difference.
No, it ain't.
Experiences make people a little different, and the
Boom.
environment that they grew up around. All that plays a part in the individual. Because, like
It's
I like to say,
yeah,
you got ghetto girls everywhere.
child.
You
Right.
got some sweethearts everywhere. You got
Right.
some that ain't shit. Just like men, it's the
And
same
the
thing.
ghetto girls be sweethearts, and then the sweethearts don't be shit. It don't, you know,
It's a different level of don't be shit though. That's
no,
what I'm saying.
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
All right, y'all. Yeah,
How
I'm just
old are
trying
you,
to
Chad?
tell y'all.
How old are
I'm
you?
a I'm a man. I can
No,
yo.
I'm asking how old you are because I want to know in comparison to how old I am, what generation you're from. I'm not.
I'm 35. No,
Uh,
pardon me. I'm 30. Crazy. That's crazy. I'm 36. You know, you get old, you forget. You know what I mean. But
yeah.
I'm 36. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's different. I get it.
Yeah, you're a little
You're
younger.
entitled. Yeah, you're entitled to have your opinion.
I mean, is
It
y'all really
matters.
that old? That much older? Like, come
Yes,
on. No.
yes, sir. But thank you. I appreciate the compliment. But
But
you know,
no. But like I said, like it's a
Again,
difference.
I'm
Just
just
like.
gonna reiterate this point
Mhm.
and you could look it up. Black
Okay.
women are becoming the most educated.
they are.
But that has nothing to do with nothing.
They
You
are.
can go to
That's not
college.
true. That's
You can
not
go to
true.
Wow.
Once
college.
you get an
You go to
education and
college,
once
and
you
that
work
don't
in
have nothing
corporate
with your
America,
upbringing.
you have to. No, that's not true. You have to become refined.
So
No,
why
you
we saying
don't.
Kevin Hart cheated? Because he wanted to? Because he couldn't be with his wife? Who did Kevin? I don't even know who Kevin Hart cheated with. To be perfectly honest with you,
Nobody knows. It's a secret.
I
Kevin
just
Hart got options. He's
I
gonna
just
cheat.
know that Lonnie Love's husband is white, and
And
she
he's broke.
and that
I
don't
believe
mean
my
that
friend is
that don't
broke.
mean
So,
Lonnie Love to have her opinion, but her
but
opinion she brought the
Quentin,
black experience in.
Quentin,
Yeah,
I don't believe her friend is even on her level. So, I
Who you talking
believe,
about?
he
Lonnie
owns
Love?
yeah.
he owns a paint company, and they say he's in Hollywood, but who is he?
Probably only because of her. Sometimes that's how it be.
And see, and that's another thing. Like she might find that acceptable just because he's a white man. You know what I'm saying? He might treat her differently because he's not from our community, so she feels like she wants to shout that out. You know what I'm saying? He
So,
may
so you're saying men in our community treat the black women bad?
no, you said that. I
No, I'm
said
asking you.
they might treat her differently.
I asked the
You see what I'm
question.
saying? What did
I
you
mean,
say?
because you're kind of all
Hey,
over the place.
hey,
You're
real,
kind of saying that you
they
want
on you in the chat,
No,
real. One person said
because
no
they don't
difference.
they don't understand that it's a difference in socio-economic difference when you pass different hoods. You can go down south and a woman will treat you way different from a woman that's raised up north, from a woman that's raised in New York, from a woman that's raised in Union, another block on North.
It's the same with
Princeton
men.
or motherfucking throw anything in there.
It's the
It just
same with men.
depends.
It's the same
Uh,
with men. And the same point you're trying to make of why these black men date these women who are they are. It's the same with white men who are wealthy and they want black women.
Do
It's
they? Go ahead.
they want black women because it's a different type. There's articles all over. You can Google it. Them older white men with money
Hmm.
prefer to. This is like a thing that people are noticing. Prefer to be with black women.
Let
So
me not
while you're
Let me ask
saying
okay.
you a question.
Shaniqua,
I just got a
Shaniqua,
question for the chat.
mhm,
The brother Hassan Ali said Lonnie Love made her statement to boost the ratings for her show. Do y'all believe she did that?
no,
no.
they were
What
having a
show?
whole conversation about.
What show?
They were
I
Yo,
believe she was really hurt. I
having
mean,
her show, but they were having a whole conversation about Kevin Hart. I don't think she said that to boost her ratings because most of the people who sit in her audience don't look like her.
um,
So I don't
And
think,
really, like most that type of audience, and even her co-hosts, when you bring up slave or even the black experience,
but
they cringe. They don't want to talk about that.
right. That's
that's
why
why
she
I
was
hated
wilding for doing that shit.
yeah, that's why I hated that she brought that's that's why I hated that she brought up slavery when
Right.
there are so many things that have happened in the last 100 years that could be affecting why we can't have effective relationships. You know what I mean? If she wanted to have that type of conversation, I think it's unfair to take one man who is cheating on his wife or any man that is cheating on his wife and make it seem like
The whole
um,
community, yeah.
yeah, I thought that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair to the experience, and that wasn't fair to other people who are being cheated on because they're being cheated on because their spouses are, making them feel like they were inadequate. You know what I mean? People are really
Yeah,
dealing with those feelings and trying to figure out how to do that. And she pulls that. I think that was just messed up. And again, you have a whole man, like be happy.
Rel, this
I
Yeah.
question is probably Rel. This question is probably to you. Hold on one second, Keisha.
Hmm.
Somebody said, Shorty said, they could be bougie busy in East Orange. Why Essex County got to be the hood?
Amen. Good.
hello.
I'm gonna say Essex County because we are from Essex County. So like, but truth be told, we different. We basically say Essex County is North Jersey, and if we go just a little bit, like even like around here, Edison, like it's just different. It's a different North Jersey. We just a different breed. So people or men or women that come out of Essex County gonna be just a little bit fucking different from Glen Ridge or
You
somebody
know,
who grew
that's
up in
why a
my,
lot of people
you know
from
what I
Essex
mean?
County got beat up in Vauxhall. It's
Yeah.
that same type of
Because
attitude.
listen, but here's the thing: when you mention certain little small events, that don't matter because in general, if you send North down there, they're gonna get their ass whooped hand to hand because
We
they're
all
not used to
related,
that.
so that's not
They
true.
They're not used to that.
What I'm saying to you is,
You know,
if you from a suburb, you sound like people in Kenilworth that was like, "Oh, we don't want the North people here because they drink Hennessy." You sound absolutely ridiculous. If you come from a middle
say that
class
again 'cause you was breaking up.
income, or can you hear me? You hear me?
All right, try it
We can
now.
hear you,
Go ahead.
Keisha.
Go ahead.
When you come from a middle class income, you come or a middle class household, you come from a middle class household. It don't matter if you in Newark or Short or per fanboy. You
No,
raising your kids in
But
the
they're
middle
doing
class
it good.
experience.
Bye.
How you know
that's not
how
how it
many,
works.
it is how it works. You know how many of my
That's not
cousins
how it
went to
works.
private school? They lived in Newark. You still live in Newark. What are you
No,
saying?
that, what,
My cousin
right. You
Faisal used
still
to
you
do what
still
you get
live
you
in
for the
Newark.
week.
You
She
still
She
moved
live
to
in Newark.
up.
Avon. She went to Weekway.
Okay.
Quentin can attest. You wouldn't know that my cousin Faisa grew up in Newark. She act like she a Maplewood housewife right now. So what you're
That's,
saying
that's
is
different.
you're a white person right now. You're a
That
white
don't
person
have
right now.
nothing. That
You're a white person right now.
you you just don't understand
I
relationships and
understand.
You just don't understand people's relationships and how people grow up and how deeply involved that shit got to do with how you relate to your mate. Like it is like
Nobody's saying that. I
every
don't think.
no, I
I
think
think
Keisha don't understand how
I
important
think
that shit is.
I think
I
what the
comprehend well.
I think what Keisha is saying and what the young lady said when she called in was that you are giving women from Essex County a bad rap, and
And don't listen. If we talking
you're
about giving
saying
Essex
things that are
County a bad rap, that's total. We're not talking about that. It doesn't matter
literally
about the bad.
just
It
now.
doesn't matter about the bad rap. We
You it
talking about
does.
socio-economic differences
You have
coming
no
from
clue.
one place in another place.
You have
We
no
talking about how the way somebody might treat you in Orange Town and somebody might treat you in Blue
what
Town.
you're
If
saying.
Blue Town got high crime, and if Blue Town got a lot of people that don't have a lot of fathers, then Blue Town gonna be different from Orange Town that's got a lot of rich people and they both a lot most of the people there got most parents. It's just different. Even if one person
Every
grows up
every
in Blue Town,
every
even
place
if one
has
person grows up
problems.
in Blue Town where everybody got their parents, he don't have to deal with the rough people in the other town who don't have parents, so they might be starving or they might not have that much money, and they go to school with them kids, and them kids might fuck them up. In the other town, it might be calm because most of the kids got their parents. It's easier to go to school. It's okay. Like this is the issues that go on in America. Matter of fact, that's poverty right there. Just living around people who ain't got shit influence behaviors around you. Not only this relationship shit, this shit goes deep into a
I
lot
hear,
of shit.
you know what? I appreciate your opinion, right? And you can have your opinion, right?
Right. Okay.
But what you are saying when you
Hmm.
give such a blanketed statement about, when you give such a blanketed statement, it's not true. It might
It doesn't. Okay.
be finished.
That's what I'm
Let me
saying. It doesn't have to. It
finish.
doesn't.
Please let me finish.
All right. But I just want to make a disclaimer.
Also, no.
One sentence.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that's for everybody.
Well,
But
let me.
but for mostly, that's what it's
Well,
going to be.
you have to be careful
Yeah.
when you're making a blanket. Okay, so now let me not. I'm not going to finish what I'm going to say. Let me start here. When you say,
Hmm.
let me make a disclaimer, your disclaimer should have started before you started talking. And
But no, you should. It's the internet. Like we having a conversation. You
I,
should know.
excuse me,
Go
excuse me.
ahead.
I shouldn't know anything because the way you sitting here hooting and hollering, you're behaving as if everything you're saying is true. It's facts. And you're telling us that we don't know how relationships work based upon county to county, town to town, Edison to this that, and the other. All the person who wrote the message,
Socioeconomic.
yeah, you
What I'm saying is that that's implied in the statement. You should already know that I'm not talking about 100% of people.
no, we know you're not
What I'm
talking about
saying is a general
100%.
statement, and
All
there's
right,
always going to be outliers.
We know
all
that.
right. Let's bring it
All
back, y'all. Let's bring
We
it back
know you're
now.
not. We know that you're not talking about 100% of people.
right,
But
right.
the way you are talking and the things that you are saying, you're making it seem as if it, oh, and maybe I'm wrong because I hate to say, I'm trying to tell you what you're thinking, but I feel as though you were trying to make it seem as if that was, some really hard facts, and that affects a lot of things. And we're saying no, we're the ones that's telling you that's not everybody.
That's
That's
the
not.
hard fact about poverty.
All right, listen,
It's
y'all.
not.
Let's we
Please
we
don't
we
go on
we
the
we
third go
we,
to
we
school
went off.
together,
We
sir.
want a little too far off topic.
Uh
Right.
huh.
We going and
Yeah.
we're actually going into a whole different topic,
Because
which
see,
could definitely be another show on on sociology and relationships.
who ain't
So
nobody no sociology major. Ain't nobody talking about that.
You don't have to be no sociology
wait,
major to know
wait,
that shit affects
We
the
ain't doing
neighborhood. You feel
okay, we're gonna
you know what I
we
mean?
gonna we're gonna reset the show on
thank
Lolly Love.
you, sir. He was bringing a statistic.
Lolly Love. This is very important. So we all in agreement that Lolly Love's statements was out of pocket,
Yes.
and
Very
Yes.
much so.
she was wrong for throwing the black experience and slavery in the whole conversation because it had nothing to do with a man cheating.
Right.
Right.
We all correct on
Throwing
that,
the
right?
black man under the bus. Yeah.
Throwing the black man under the bus. The second part of our conversation tonight is sassy men.
Hmm.
This is a statement that that Keisha, Shaketa, Shanita, Ugh, all y'all say it.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna present this to the ladies. What is a sassy man?
So I don't know who said it first, but I kind of feel like I did. And what happens is, and I know I've had people kind of get extreme, like, overly sensitive about it because they're not exactly sure what I mean. I'm not trying to, gay bash. It's not about being gay. It's not about your sexuality. It's about the way you are communicating with me.
Right.
And it's about how when I'm having a conversation, like right now, me and Jeff were talking, or all of us. And in the midst of this heated conversation, he begins to personally attack, me or us, and just really, really get out of line, and then start with the cursing and name calling and all of that stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
I
That's
did that.
no,
He used an
Okay.
example. He used an example.
It sound like, all right. Go ahead.
no. I,
Continue.
I said if that was to happen here.
Oh, if okay. All right.
That you're forgiven. So in those situations, this is what happens, where you can't even have conversations on, you can't have these types of conversations or interactions on any social media platform because there's always this one man who is so nasty and sassy that all of a sudden you all kinds of bees and hoes and fu, and that's why nobody don't want you, and cussing you out and threatening to put their hands on you. I've seen it. I've had the rumors happen to me, and I've seen the threats come in to women about how somebody wants to put their hands on them because they don't agree with what they're saying. That's where this, for me, that's where the sass comes in at.
Uh, I want to say that.
Yeah.
See, like that.
And
Huh?
Like that, to me, that goes back to that gay shit too. You know, it sounds like it sounds like you're calling them gay because it's sassy. Like you ain't gotta call them
It's like
sassy.
saying,
Just be like they're aggressive. But that's besides the point.
huh?
Um, but I just what you hear me?
It was
yeah,
Ke-
broken a little bit.
Keisha, can we hear you?
I hear y'all.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right, all right, yeah, but you ain't gotta call them sassy. They just a little bit aggressive. But like I can understand that because
Passive
like
aggressive. They're passive aggressive.
Yes.
that's more than passive to me. But
Well,
but no, I'll say this. But when black people have conversations online, it's a lot of passive aggressive shit. So it goes into aggression. Like a lot of times we don't know how to have conversations with each other. That's like us just now. Like we all grown, so we could flip this shit and we back here and it's all fine. But people don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that just go with their experience to talking with women or men and then internalizing their issues and they're getting ready for situations that they've seen around that corner. So in their house, that might have been, the second before they popped the girl in the eye or the girl slapped them in the face. So we're dealing with people who sometimes ain't even raised correct. You know what I mean? So on both sides. So you can't even say sassy men because, like, honestly, yo, black people don't know how to talk to each other and have a conversation a lot of times.
who
It's
are these
true.
black people that you speak of?
Terrible.
We talking about them. We talking about them right now.
I mean,
But we're
we
not
have
saying black
to.
people. I'm literally just saying the sassies. I'm only talking about the sassies here. I'm not talking
Keisha,
about black
Keisha,
people.
what's your understanding? And because we all mess with each other on social media heavy. What's your explanation of the sassy man and the sassiness?
I
She
mean,
basically
it's
call them gay.
everything.
No.
Basically call
They're
them
not.
gay.
They're
Yeah,
heterosexual. It doesn't have anything to do with their sexuality. It's everything
yeah,
to
but
do
this
with,
sassy is like a feminine insult. Like that's
yeah,
crazy.
because they be acting like bitches in a lot of ways. They very passive aggressive,
So you
very
saying,
forceful, like they want to slam down their opinion. They're not adults.
but
Adults can
you
agree
can't.
to disagree.
Yeah, but you can't be saying they acting like females because like that's crazy.
Well, we're not saying they're acting like females because, honey, I'm a woman, and what's how when did the word female replace woman or women? I don't understand. But anyway, I'm a woman,
All
and
right,
I don't.
good.
I'm a woman,
I
and I
said
don't
they
have.
were acting
I'm
like
not
a
women.
bitch.
They're
That's not
acting.
being a woman. That's a difference.
But
Yeah.
That
a bitch is a female dog, so it's like you still saying it's a woman. You know what I mean?
No, that's an
I'm gonna
animal.
ask y'all. I'm gonna ask y'all a
no, I'm
question. Do you
saying
think
this
it's a matter
sassy.
of do you
Animal.
do you think it's a matter of when it comes to social media, just wanting to argue, go back and forth to try to get a better understanding, or they just want to argue? These type of men just want to argue with women.
A lot of the times they just want to argue with women. I feel like because they never have that type of aggression.
Or
It
energy.
doesn't appear with men. Like I got into it with one. I asked a general statement, and he just started going in. I didn't say whether I agreed right or wrong, and then I had to slay him. Like, go sit your sassy ass down somewhere. So
See, and I,
they and his boy was agreeing with me, who was his friend. He wasn't even my friend. So why are you attacking me instead of having these kind
Yeah.
of conversations with your friend who
Right.
was in agreement with me?
They never speak to other men that way.
They
They
never speak
because
to other men that way.
no.
let me tell y'all something about like online. Like, yo, men will not. First of all, because men will really strap up and like, all right, I'm about to fuck him up. So men not gonna go through that with another man because there's gonna be an end result at the end. You know what I'm saying? And we used to like, okay, it's aggression. It's aggression. There's one way to handle that. When it comes to females, we're gonna talk about a woman. We're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk it out. And then a lot of times, like you still resort into an insult with the sassy. So how a man know how to react to you calling him sassy or insulting him in type of way? You're gonna be like, all right, bitch, shut up then.
At that
Then
point,
the insult will come in.
when I'm calling you sassy, he already called me a bitch. He already
Yeah, but
came for me. He already came for me. When I
you
get
know,
he already came for me, and I don't want to call a man a B. I don't want to call a man. I don't want to say those words. Sassy, pretty much real classy. It's a real classy read. I go about my business, and that's just that.
and then here's
Yeah,
another thing. Go ahead, Keisha.
by the time I call you sassy, you've already disrespected me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't disrespect nobody until they disrespect me.
But sometimes, we be saying some
I be
things
like, Pop, come get your sassy ass friend.
like, okay, Shakita. Now you could say this, right? So I know because I'm bold. I'm bold offline. Sometimes I say shit like I'm just bold.
Mm.
A lot of times people don't want you on their page disagreeing with them at all. I find a lot of women are like that. If you ain't agreeing with them, get the fuck off their
Yeah,
comment.
they be like, keep scrolling. You don't
Yeah,
got
but that is not how the internet works. You know what
but
I
you
mean?
also no, I agree, and Keisha might kill me when I say this, and I might have somebody listening that might be like, Can you please just write that down, sign it, and then put it in an envelope so I can take it out and let you read it the next time you do this?" But a lot of times, women want you to agree with them. And I get that to some degree. Especially I see it too. When I see women post stuff sometimes and I think that we're friends and I'm in a comfortable space where I can say something to you, they'd be really like, I know they be want to be like, bitch, you don't agree, keep on scrolling. A lot of times women just want you to agree, and if you don't, they get an attitude. But in situations where there is healthy debate and we are having a healthy conversation, it's
Mhm.
always one that jumps on, and want to tell you how you sound bitter. You's a bitter bee, and that's probably why nobody don't want you. Ain't nobody doing that, sass.
Yo,
You better,
honestly, when we be having those types of conversations, like for instance on Quad page, like it gets like that because we talking about some divisive shit that could go either way,
but
and then people,
go ahead.
people be having their little experiences, they really airing shit out on.
Right. But I don't know if you've noticed, but it hasn't happened lately. I think those people have left. But a lot of times we're like, yo, Quab, who is this person? Like, what is he doing here? Why is he talking to her like that? We've had to go in and defend women like, what, you You're not gonna come here and talk to her like that. You know what I mean? Like we have to jump on them and defend people. You know what I mean? Because it goes left. If you can't persuade her to believe or think or feel the way you want, or
Yeah.
she doesn't agree with your opinion or whatever else, it turns into you're bitter. You know, you're bitter, you're a bitter bee, or that's why you by yourself. That's why you ain't got no man. We'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. How are you personally attacking me, trying to say anything about me when we're having
Yeah.
a debate on Facebook? You're nuts. That's
Y'all
fast.
low key a gang online though. Like I'll give it to you. Like black women, y'all run this shit. You come on Facebook. Matter of fact, the shade room runs shit. If anybody says anything about black women online, they're
That's
gonna
the
get
next thing
their
we
ass
do.
chewed up. You know
So
what I'm saying?
it's a rel is being set up, rel.
You know, it's just
He was
like
watching us. You saw him, Q?
y'all run social
Uh-huh.
media.
That's all.
Y'all run social media. Y'all be
But
tearing
what?
with the jokes. Y'all funny as fuck online. Y'all will gang up on the motherfucking comments. So all of this sassy man shit, y'all know y'all triggering niggas
Why
because you can't
sassy though? Why would y'all use that word sassy?
because they know that they triggering men.
Because they
No,
listen.
when somebody is getting smart with you and being nasty, my grandmother would always say, "You're
Say,
sassy.
yeah, he's fast.
You
Mm-hmm.
being sassy."
You saying sassy like that? Yeah,
Like sassy like that. It's not
yeah,
sassy
yeah,
like
yeah.
sassy.
I
And
mean, I think they
But
take it that way, but that's not the intent.
no,
y'all know that's some gay shit.
no,
But
no.
well, then don't. Well, here's my thing.
Because
Here's
I
my
know
thing.
because I know plenty of gay men who are educated, can have a great dialogue, have great arguments, all and
And you
nothing
act
is
like
not
men.
flamboyant. Yeah, they're not flamboyant. It's none of those things. You wouldn't even know that they were gay. So I hate when people try to tie the two together. Sassy is sassy. I said what I said it was. Ain't nobody talking about nothing what you do in your bedroom. It's about your attitude and the way you're representing yourself in public, and you're supposed to be a man. And you men watch these jokers online behaving this way, and y'all don't say nothing.
And never
Cause y'all be
check it.
wilding sometimes, and sometimes y'all need that.
So we deserve it.
Sometimes
Tonight.
y'all need that.
I'm sick of you tonight.
And
So
that's
y'all,
why
Sometimes
we
y'all need
fuck
so
them.
my favorite statement is men move accordingly. So y'all feel as though that brothers is supposed to be checking each other for saying certain things to women online.
Online, in public.
It's
y'all
a
feel
healthy debate.
wrong.
Or just
On
tell them
Y'all
they're
be,
wrong. Men
y'all
don't
be
even
feeling
like
like
people when they're wrong.
honestly, y'all be feeling like men's supposed to do this. Men's supposed to do. Men know what the fuck they supposed to be doing. If
I
a
know.
man see y'all bugging out, even on our page, we know when y'all right. We know when y'all wrong. We know when y'all jumping a nigga. We know when you said some shit. We know when you bitter. We know when to respond. We know when not to respond. When a nigga get out of line, he's doing too much. Then somebody gonna say something. Sometimes a nigga ain't sassy, and y'all be going in. The truth is, some of y'all be going extra hard on niggas online just because that's the space on which y'all gonna jump this motherfucker. He ain't gonna do shit back. He's gonna be embarrassed. He's gonna look stupid if he
But
respond,
see,
and that's
Real,
let me
they
just
gonna
say
screen
this.
they gonna screenshot, say this
okay.
nigga's a chump.
And, and,
What
Who
I,
and
is this dude?
let that man post one picture or one
no,
post about that. He acting sassy.
that's not
No,
Man,
true.
what is this?
What,
no.
that's not true. Now, Shakita's a more. She's gonna attack me before I. She, you know what I mean. But I give y'all enough room to hang yourself. Like I'm not just going out the gate. Sometimes Shakita out the gate. You ain't talking right. I don't like it.
He to
And
be
you gonna
wilding. He to be
but I
wilding. I'm telling you that now.
right some of the things she presented, but she had no reason to
You're
run
breaking up too.
Keisha,
Breaking up.
you breaking up, Keisha.
me on the other hand. I don't just not say that you acting like the same kid. That's what you do.
To, to you though, but you was just wilding with that little conversation we had.
No, she wasn't. Be quiet.
Is that now? Look. You see how the gang shit start? You know she was. You know she was wilding a little bit,
Based
but
on
it's
your
acceptable.
Nobody was wilding but like you with the statistics of the hood and the poors.
Okay.
who function around regular damn people,
But
boy.
at the same time, you could have took it into consideration. Go ahead, Keisha. What you saying?
You're breaking up, Keisha. You got to come in
Hey,
clear.
Keisha, we can't hear you that good.
If you say I'm violent,
Perfect.
You good?
let me
Yeah.
tell you why. I hate when we get in the spaces, and this is going to be online, where we're ripping each other apart. So you rip the whole Essex County community.
Yeah.
It's Edison, someone,
I'm from Essex County. I'm from Orange.
but it doesn't.
That's
All of
okay.
us at some point is from somewhere. Like, so you're saying I'm not the one that raised the dog. It's local.
You gotta
That's
talk up.
what.
Talk up.
We lose.
We.
Hey,
I,
Keisha, we losing you.
So you're saying if my parents are born and raised, my mother educated, she's low class, and she's
Nobody's saying that. It's you have
that's
when somebody says something online, right? There's always an implied not everybody, but we all know general statements work. All know black people is poor. We all know that. We know white people got the money. Does that mean that fucking Tom from around the corner is rich? No. It's always going to be an
not.
exclusion.
That's your reality. That's not mine. All the poor people, the first poor people I met were white trash from me. The first scam artist that I met was white. First people
Okay.
trying to get over the dealing with white people. So
Okay.
what can I get my
We lost you, Keisha.
Yeah,
I wasn't saying
we all right. We keep losing you,
I
but
heard the part where you said that your first scam artists you met were white people.
white
The
people,
first,
yeah.
we heard all of yeah, we heard that part. But what's happening is
I didn't
you're breaking up so much that we have to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, Keisha, we couldn't hear you fully.
What I'm saying is the way that he feels about black people, that was my first introduction to white people when I got here, my culture shock. My
Mhm.
family is from North.
You
They were entrepreneurs. They had stuff. They had houses. So you can't just make a blanket statement like that.
you can make a blanket statement because we know that they're successful black fucking people, but blanket
Okay,
statements
so
are
we can
meant
agree to
are meant.
disagree.
What? All right, the point is right. Blanket statements are general statements that we know to be fucking true. Okay, we know fucking Mexicans basically working motherfuckers' yard until they get their shit right. We know that's a blanket statement. That's true. It's nothing wrong
It's
with
a,
me saying it. It's
it
nothing
is.
wrong with it.
It
No,
is.
it's
It's
not. It's
exactly.
fucking
It is.
true.
It is.
It's fucking
Okay, so
true.
listen, we can agree to disagree. To me, when we get into spaces where we rip each other, like they don't know how
You,
to act. They don't have two parent households. They don't this. They don't that.
you talking
So
you
what
talking about
Keisha is saying is
something
that you were
totally
acting like
different.
Lonnie Love.
What's that?
What Keisha
Right.
was saying was you were acting like Lonnie Love this evening.
No, you talking about
Essentially,
something. You talking about something totally different. If we having a
I'm not.
conversation,
I'm
all
not.
right, hear me out. If we having a conversation, right, it's gonna be blanket statements left and right. I'm not gonna stop and say people in Newark don't have money, but some people do. I'm not gonna say that all the time. We already know Newark is a poor town. It's not a rich town. That's a blanket statement. That's true. I'm not gonna stop saying that because we have this one, two, three, or four, or 10 families that have extreme amounts of wealth. That doesn't mean shit. You have to understand when you're dealing with online, it's plenty of blanket statements to be factual. Like that shouldn't insult you. You're one of the few. Your family got money. That's cool. That don't mean I'm insulting all
No
black people.
one says that. No, it's not about having money. But if
Uh,
you're trying to say that these women in these spaces are not educated or they
I'm not
can't
saying none of that. I'm saying their behavior is different. That's all I'm saying.
You said both.
everyone
Be, behavior is different because of their economic status. Point blank. Period.
That's not true.
Yo, that's how shit works.
That's
That's how
not
shit works. That's
true.
how shit works. That's actually how shit works. That's how economics works. I'm sorry.
It's not.
Yeah, but their economic status could be higher than someone in Edison.
You're talking about someone.
I was sick when you said Edison.
Talking about someone. But in general, orange does. This is facts. If we look up the economics of orange, right, and then we look at the economics of Edison, I can look a blanket statement and say the motherfuckers in orange ain't got shit, and it's fucking true. It
I,
doesn't have to be factual.
I wouldn't even be okay. You can say it whether it's factual or not. If that's how you feel, that's fine. I don't think that it's. I just don't think it's something you should be saying, and I don't think that it's true. But I can't tell you what to say.
But it's fucking like that's like saying fucking Princeton versus no, like certain. Y'all just have to understand when you hear certain shit online, don't take it personal. Blanket statements work for a reason. Don't take it personal. You should already know that.
But what Keisha is saying is you want us not to take it personal, but when Loni Love said all men cheat over slavery, you lost your shit.
That's a different blanket statement. You're saying something that's totally not true. Matter of fact, there's truth to it.
Yeah.
That's truth to it. But just like you said, there's truth to it. But there's a complete lie. It doesn't make sense. It's not the same thing as me saying North is poor, Princeton is
I hear
rich.
what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Overall, I just believe that you went a little too hard on black people when you were trying
Y'all taking it personal, okay?
No, I'm not taking it personal. I'm not taking it personal because
Right.
I can go into where I'm from and where I was born and where I went to school, all of those things. And
Right.
people will tell me in a heartbeat how I act and how they think I am. Oh, and you're from there? I can't believe that. Let me tell you, honey, I can turn it on and turn it off whenever I feel like it. And a man who was worth $3.5 billion walked up on me tomorrow and thought I was fine. Trust me, I'll be all right with all that damn money. Meet him
I guarantee you he would see a hole through them cracks.
whether he was a
He'll
blue
see a hole through them
collar,
cracks.
whether he was a blue collar gentleman who, I don't know, was a garbage man.
Yo,
He could be the
he's going.
smartest man on the planet. He could be
Okay.
educated, go to college, be smart as hell, from a two-parent household, live down the block from the hood. It ain't none of that affect him either. What we're
But we
saying is
we
your statistics. You are not a
So
statistic.
let me ask
You're
y'all
not
let
an
me ask y'all a
economic
question.
major. And what you were saying was just a blanket statement, and we don't
Let,
we didn't like it.
that blanket statement works though.
let me ask y'all a question in honor of Martin Luther King in his last book.
You are
So where
boy.
so where do we go from here?
Jeff, you on mute.
You on mute, Rel?
Yeah.
That was Martin Luther King's spirit.
I
Martin's
said
spirit came in and said mute.
I,
This boy is out of control.
I said. So where after these two topics, where are we at?
Um. Basically, that some blanket statements are stupid and some work, and that women need to stop jumping motherfuckers online. Shakita. Um. Keisha need to relax,
Woo!
and I'll see y'all next time.
You're not coming back because you scratched. You sit right where you
I'm always relaxed.
Yeah.
I think that you need to be mindful of the things that you say. I think that ultimately we've agreed upon Loni Love. And man, we just not being so damn good.
I'm Shakita.
So I'm going to give my final statement in true Shakita fashion. Loni Love is straight trash, and she can go straight to hell. And so can these sassy ass men. I mean, I'll try to lessen up on the sassafras comments and talks. I'll try, right? I'll only apply it when they deserve it, and I'm going to try not to trigger anybody, even though I don't. But Loni Love can burn for eternity because she's full of shit. and she needs to figure her life out and stay out of black folk business, and she has nothing progressive or positive to say whatsoever.
I was gonna ask y'all about Lizzo, but that might be a whole new 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Now that's a good topic
Uh-oh.
because some people find that acceptable.
Well, we know Jeff don't like that
Hell no.
because she probably from the Essex County,
Nah.
and she out
Nah.
there
She making y'all look bad.
she ain't making us look nothing.
Because people make general statements. And general statements work.
No, they don't. They only work for dummies.
Mm.
I mean, she's proof. She proven. Like,
I've been to a Lizzo concert. You know who's at Lizzo's concerts?
no clothes.
Like white folks. The whole place is packed. I
Right
think
there.
I saw two
They
other
pay for
black
concerts.
people. I think I saw two other black people at her whole entire show. They love, they cry, they sing her music, they know her lyrics, and they buy her music.
And I think 3 of her songs is in top 10 pop music.
No,
They
she got
love
like
her.
she got a lot of records. Yeah, she doing her thing.
They love her. They love her. So it's
But that doesn't mean she's not a fucking what you call it? What you call it? Q when they be
She was mammying. She was
maybe
mammying.
or they call it something
She,
you know what
she
I'm
was
talking about.
she was mammying for White Zaddy. That's what we call it.
Exactly.
Well, you probably have a millionaire white man. I mean, you're not on her socioeconomic level. So.
Actually, she might, considering I don't think many white men really like her
they
stature.
love her. That's what I did. They love her.
No, they might love her
Loni
song.
Love. Loni Love
might
got
love her
her
song.
shit like that. Look
Oh
around.
no. You know what? Dig this. Precious. She got a white dude, I think.
Loni Love. All of them got white men. Don't,
Yeah, but you talk. She got a bag. She got a bag.
so do Lizzo.
Listen, we
Black
gonna we gonna end the live broadcast because that's the end of the show.
Okay.
But y'all stay in the queue because I know y'all got some stuff y'all want to say, but y'all don't want to say it online. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and we appreciate the support and stay tuned for our next show.
Jeff can't come back.